I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, Mackenzie Fain here with AfterBuzz TV's Teen Mom Young and Pregnant After Show. Oh my goodness, did a lot happen in this episode. We're talking about Season 2, Episode 14, Looking for Signs. Guys, is this season not killing you or what? Like, there's so much going on, so many stories everywhere. It's just so good. I love it. And I love all the girls, and I'm just so happy about it. Anyway, we'll get more into that later in the episode. So, I'm your host, Mackenzie Fain. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure to subscribe, comment below so that we can continue the conversation as we go. So, let's jump right on in. We start with Brianna, who we knew last time that we'd be meeting this new friend of hers. I guess we wouldn't really call it a boyfriend because they haven't really hung out too much yet, and she's not saying that. So I guess this is her new friend that she's seeing. So his name is Jaden, and she really seems to like him, but I think she's very skeptical and wanting to take things slow. Rightfully so. You know, we know her past. So, big news, though, in this episode for Brianna is her sister and her sister's boyfriend are moving to Oregon for good, and they're just so excited. We know how difficult it was when Brianna left to move to Oregon and her sister stayed behind. I mean, they're super close. Her sister was there through the birth of Brayson and helping raise Brayson for the first year of his life. So she's super important. And we also know that Brianna hasn't really had anybody to hang out with or really connect with while being in Oregon. So it'll be really nice to have her sister out there. When I heard about that, I was so happy for her. And I just think it's nice. I think you need to have somebody there that is really supportive, whether that's a sister, whether that's a friend. And I don't know, between her mother and her grandmother, of course, she has the support system, but it's a little different when you can have somebody you can connect to on a different level like she does with her sister. So Jaden is the new guy that she's talking to, and he's also moving out there too. I mean, is the deal to move to Oregon? Because I didn't get the memo. Anyway, she really talks about moving slowly with Jaden, and we've never seen that from her. I mean, like she said before with Robert, her last boyfriend, she started dating him and then he moved in, and she really didn't get to know who he was, and she found out the hard way and had to break up with him after he decided to move to Oregon with them. So it was just a big ordeal for them. So this is really great that she's deciding to do that, but she's matured so tremendously in the past, while, so that we've been watching, and even in the last couple episodes to me. So it's really great to see her do saying that she wants to take it slow. So we meet Jaden, and first initial thoughts, you guys, let me know what you think, because okay, so she asked him, why she wanted to move to Oregon. The first thing he said is that weed is legal. And before Brianna even comments on this, my brain went a million places. I'm like, okay, clearly you only have one thing on your mind. You are not going to be able to handle a child if the reason you're moving states is to get high, pretty much. That's just so ridiculous to me. But then he does say that he's moving because his mom and sister live there. So I don't know. Was it a joke? Did you guys take that as a joke? Was it funny to anybody? Because to me, it was just really stupid. If I'm meeting somebody for the first time and I'm asking them a serious question, why are you moving across the country? You're from Texas. I would expect a serious answer, or even if it's a funny one, not a funny one that could potentially be true if you're just you just smoke weed all the time. So when he said that, I was kind of back on board. I'm like, okay, maybe he just was trying to be funny. That's a sense of humor. I don't know. And then she was like, okay, so what do you want to do? And he was work at a dispensary. I'm like, oh my God, okay. Does your life revolve around weed or what? I mean, I know that weed can help people and marijuana can help people and it's a great industry to get into medically. I can see why someone would feel fulfilled in that area, and it is very interesting and very, very cool line of work to get into, in that way, like medically. But I don't know what he's talking about. So, and the reason he moved states apparently was because weed was legal. So interesting. I guess we'll see. But first impression, if you watch Bachelor, if you're a Bachelor fan, I do not give him my first impression rose because it wasn't a great one. And typically, I'm pretty good with my intuition when it comes to these people. So I don't get a good feeling. I'd probably give him like a 3 out of 10 on my liking. So we'll see. We move on to Rachael, who has not talked to Drew or Jacob in weeks. And neither of them have asked about Hazley. Interesting. Jacob thing, I didn't really think that he would, but Drew, that's interesting to me. Like, did you just want to get laid and you were jealous that she was with Jacob, so you tried to sneak your way in and tried to like always ask about Hazley? Because there was a point in time where he was asking about her. So was that what you were trying to do? And then once you realized that that wasn't working and she didn't want to actually be with you or sleep with you, you just kind of like up and left? Is anybody else getting that vibe? Because that's literally all the vibe I got there. So Mallory's getting back with Lane, who is her abusive ex. Oh, it's so hard. And Stephanie, their mom, is trying to be supportive. And that's so hard, especially like an abusive ex and then throwing a baby involved. It's like, are you going to be abusive to the baby? Because I don't know, Valerie, how could you trust him? It's just so crazy. Just because he's her dad doesn't like add anything, like, or take away any of the bad. It just doesn't. So Stephanie, their mom, Mallory and Rachel's mom, is going on a trip to see family in Atlanta, Georgia. And she wants the girls to come and bring the babies and see all the family and have a nice little family trip. So cute, so great. I loved family trips like that growing up. So Rachael calls her dad and wants, who lives down there as well, and she wants him to meet Hazley. And her mom is really against it because, he hasn't been there for them, but Rachel's more of the mindset of like, this is his granddaughter. If we're going to be there, I don't know what the harm is of like him meeting her. Mallory, on the other hand, has no desire really to see him. She doesn't get the point, but to each his own. If Rachael wants to give her dad a second chance, meaning literally just a meeting, a little dinner so he can meet his granddaughter, that's fine. I mean, she does say later on in the episode, she did give her mom a second chance, and yes, her mom's doing phenomenal. I mean, her mom is a really good mom considering all that she's been through. So there's two sides, and I do totally get both of them. The last time that Rachael has seen their dad was about 3 years ago, which is a lot of time to have passed, especially since she's only 17. I mean, in your teenage years, like, if you're above 17, that those years, like, you change so much every 6 months, I feel like, at that point. So Jason is Rachel's dad, and he's really excited to meet Hazley. He's really excited about this trip. But the family goes bowling, and there's this big blowout fight at the bowling alley between Stephanie and Rachael. So her mom and Rachael. And Mallory decides that she doesn't want to go see the dad that night. And Stephanie's just very, okay, well, you're not going alone, Rachael. Doesn't want her to go alone, rightfully so. Like, let me know in the comments below, you guys, if you thought that Stephanie was out of line in any way. Because personally, I don't at all. She knows firsthand what he's capable of, what kind of drugs he's been on, maybe what he would or wouldn't do. Not saying that he would harm her, but first of all, we never know. Second of all, he could put her in harm's way unintentionally, being on drugs, being who, I don't know. So her being nervous about it would make me nervous. And I just don't understand how, I mean, the immaturity side of Rachael does come out because we see, you know, she gets really defensive. Like, you're not going to tell me what to do. And really all Stephanie wanted was somebody to just go with her. But later on, after this really heated argument at the bowling alley, Stephanie apologizes for going off like that. And, you know, she just doesn't want her to go alone. So she wants family friend Jake to go along with. And Rachel's just like, okay, like, I'm sorry too. I don't even know if it's happening. It's already 9:30 at night and she hasn't even heard from her dad to go to dinner. So then, you know, of course, he calls Stephanie and is, you know, talking about it. And she's just like, I don't want Rachael to go without Jake. So Jake's going to come. And I mean, the dad like freaks out, doesn't like that for whatever reason, feels like he's being controlled, feels like it's my daughter. Why would I let anything happen to her? But again, you haven't seen her in 3 years. And now we're dealing with a baby, like a 4-month-old baby here. Like, what? Dude, what is he not getting? And what is the problem with Jake, this family neutral family friend, have to do with anything or make anybody? It's just not, whatever. So odd to me. So then he hangs up on Stephanie and calls Rachael and then is just like, sorry, Rachael, this is not going to work out because your mom's making Jake come. And, you know, it's like, this is not my fault. And it's like, yes, it is your fault. And I really liked how Rachael understood that. And she just said, you know, if he really wanted to see me, he would have made me a priority. And that's kind of where we left it. And poor Jake was like, I really hope you're not going to not see your dad because of me. And it's like, Jake, it has nothing to do with you. I mean, it has all to do with Jason, who is just, I don't even know what the words are, like how ridiculous you are to not see your daughter because another person's going to drive her there. Odd. Anyway, we move on to Tiesa and Kaya, who have this blowout fight over prom and shopping for prom. Now, let me know if I missed anything, because in my eyes, all I thought was Kaya was really excited to go prom shopping with Tiesa. Really excited for this experience and experience it. And she did tell her that. So what happened? Tiesa was just out with her cousin and some other people, and she was just going to go and get the tux herself or whatever she's wearing. And Kaya, you know, vocalized that she wanted to do it together and they were going to do it this weekend and they had plans. Like, I really wish we got Tiesa's side of the story in this episode, which unfortunately we don't, because I can't imagine her doing something malicious for any reason. So I just think there's a miscommunication, misunderstanding somewhere along the line. But we see Kaya just get so heated. You know, she really got really upset. And we've all been there, but I just wish she, you know, took a little bit of time to just breathe and calm down. I think what really set her off was the fact that Tiesa was with other girls, and you know, that's a difficult situation too. Your boyfriend's with other girls, your girlfriend's with other boys. Like, if there's not that secure trust there, then there you have it. You're going to have some issues like this. And we know that they're working on their trust issues because Tiesa has cheated on Kaya before. So it is something of the past for them. Tiesa comes home and they just have this screaming match in the bathroom, and Tiesa's trying to calm her down, and Kaya's just freaking out, you know, and she's just really hurt, and she's crying, and she's really hurt. So we kind of just leave it there. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. So I'm excited to see next week what happens there. And let me know if you guys, if I'm missing anything here, because it really just seemed like a quick, short, like minimal information segment to me. So I really want to hear like this sit down conversation next week about what just happened there. Ashley graduating from medical assisting school. Kudos to her. I mean, this girl worked her butt off. It cannot be easy to raise a baby, raise a toddler, go to school full time, you know, just do everything that she's been doing in such a positive way, dealing with all this baby daddy drama all the time. So, I mean, she really set such a good example for so many young moms out there, not even young moms, moms in general. You can go back to school. You can, do right for yourself and for your children and things like that. And it's so cool that she did this and we got to witness it on the show. This is what the show is about. This right here. I love the drama. We all love the drama. We love seeing these girls, but this is what the show is about. This shows that it's really possible and your life doesn't end when you have a baby. If anybody, the show sometimes is perceived as like, oh, your life is over. They're young and they're pregnant. They're 16 and pregnant, whatever. But it's like, these girls are pushing through. They're doing a great job. And so anyway, round of applause for Ashley. She did such a great job. She has such confidence, in her work ethic and work ability. She gets straight A's. And it's just so great. She's getting ready for this graduation and Bar's late. Bar didn't give Holly a bath. I hate to say it, but he's just lazy. That's all it is to me. And I like Bar. I don't really have a problem with him, but he's just lazy. That's all it comes down to. And that's not going to fly with somebody that's pushing themselves and persevering through like Ashley. So she doesn't have Bar coming to the graduation. They're just not, there's really no need for him to be there. They're not dating, whatever. So, Bar ends up getting Holly there on time and Ashley graduates, and it was just such a wonderful thing to experience. You could just see how excited she was, how happy she was, and it was just so great. Let me know what you guys thought, and if any of you out there have been through similar situations like Ashley, let me know. I would love to commend you on it because it's so important for you to have supporters out there that really are rooting for you and are happy for you, because there's a lot of people out there that will be happy for you. Kayla, we move on. Her mom is deciding to move to Iowa too. We knew about this a little bit last week, and she's quitting her job to move near her, and she wants to sell her house and be there to support Kayla, Luke, and the kids. And Kayla's just really nervous because, her mom is the reason that she had to leave home, and she doesn't know, she doesn't want her mom to rip up her whole life, and then because it's only for 2 years, but 2 years is a long time, especially when you're having a baby and then you come back with a 2-year-old. I know it's only 2 hours away, but if her mom's in this situation where there's really no need for her to have this big house and she's going to sell it anyway, I mean, why not move? I don't know what kind of job she has, but I don't think this mom doesn't seem worried, and she seems more than happy to move over there. I know her mom can be a little bit overbearing, but I don't think as much as Kayla thinks that she is. So Luke says that if his mom ever said that she was doing that, he would say no. First of all, that was the first sign of Luke. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? You can't just say no. You can't just tell somebody what to do or what not to do. And why are you pushing great family help away? You out of all people. I get Kayla, it's her mom. She's young. She still has that internal battle going on and her having to leave the house. And I'm sure there's a lot of emotions, but I think with time she'll understand and come to appreciate. But Luke, right off the rip, how are you not so happy, so thankful, so supportive that your mother-in-law or soon-to-be mother-in-law is willing to shift her whole life around to come move when you're not even going to be there half the time? So you just literally want her to be by herself alone? That's so ridiculous to me. Not cool, Luke. What is cool is Luke's family throws Kayla and Luke this really gorgeous baby shower. I mean, they went all out. They did such a great job. And it was just really nice. I mean, with Stefan's family, it wasn't like this. There wasn't this support. And I remember the baby shower last season with Isaiah was kind of a nightmare. So yeah, this was really, really nice to see. So Kayla's mom comes to look at apartments in Ohio with them, and she has a lot of questions, but they're all valid questions, and Kayla just gets annoyed. And I think she'll look back one day and just think, there was nothing wrong with what my mom was saying. Like, why did I get so upset or so mad, or so annoyed with what she was saying? She's, her mom's just talking about, that they're going to be moving and having the baby and school starting, all happening in 1 week. That's a lot. What's your plan? What if the baby comes early? And Kayla's like, Mom, stop talking to me about this. You're stressing me out. It's like, she doesn't mean to be stressing you out, but these are things that you need to be thinking of. And as a mother, she needs to make sure that you're thinking of these things. But yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. You guys let me know if you think otherwise, but I can't imagine pushing away such help like that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this week. A lot happened, but I think this week was a big build up to next week has to be just an explosion, because we were left hanging with the Kayla and her mom situation, especially with the Tiesa and Kaya situation and their fight. Like, I just feel like I've been left hanging in this episode, but I did find out a lot. We got to meet Brianna's new significant other possibly, and a lot of other things. But I'm really excited for next week. So let's dive into what's going on the next episode of Teen Mom Young and Pregnant. That'll be episode 15 of season 2. So Kayla's mom applies for an apartment in the same apartment complex as her and Luke. So that is going to stir up some drama. With that statement, it just kind of makes me think, like, does her mom not pick up on the social cues about how annoyed she is? But there might be other reasons why this is such a perfect spot to live. We'll see. Brianna tells Jaden that she's not nervous about anything, and they seem to get a little bit touchy-feely. It looks like Kaya and Tiesa go to therapy, and Kaya is saying that she feels like she's moving too fast and expecting too much out of Tiesa than Tiesa can give her. Bar drops the ball on planning Holly's second birthday party, and Rachael doesn't start the pill on time, and her mom knows about this, and her mom thinks that she's late. So again, there might be some possibility of Rachael being pregnant. Biggest thing to me here is this whole bar situation, dropping the ball. I called it. I hate to say it, but I called it. I'm excited for next week. Thank you guys so much. I hope you are too. This season has been such a whirlwind for us viewers, and of course for these teen moms as well. So thank you again so much for joining. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I would love that. It's at Mackenzie Fayne, Fayne. Follow me on Instagram, like, subscribe, comment below. We have so many channels and other shows that we cover here at AfterBuzz TV. So Teen Mom Young and Pregnant is not the only one. If you watch any other reality TV shows, drama, anything else, we cover it. I promise you, we are sure that you'll love everything. So thank you guys again so much for joining us. And we'll be back next week with episode 15 of Teen Mom Young and Pregnant.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.